think he's a guy who should kind of develop into playing the same style as you?
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Not only does he have the ability to score the basketball, but he's a great passer as well. He uses his body very well, rebounds the ball. He does a lot of things to impact the game. And with this only being his first year, we got a long way to go, but he's definitely on a great start.
James Harden is a player who genuinely took bullets for the stars of today. I said this in a video last year, but when people talk about Shea and his free throw attempts and his foul baiting, I promise you, he's only getting a fraction of what James Harden dealt with. And honestly, that's fair because James Harden's foul baiting era was on a completely different level. We saw entirely foreign defensive adjustments made specifically because of how much this man drew fouls. Articles back then were basically implying his ugly, hard-to-watch style directly hurt his MVP votes.
I know you're long, got long reach.
Yes.
But they allow him to travel these days.
I know.
With a double step back.
And I understand. And they allow him to put the contact on the defender.
I don't care how long you are and how much space.
Wingspan.
Minutes.
It's safe to say James Harden's offensive style at his peak was extremely polarizing. But honestly, it wasn't even just that side of things. The narrative surrounding everything else might have actually been far worse. I'm watching that Lakers-Cavs game and it was never really close. Luka got extremely hot. Austin Reeves and Bron had this Dwayne and Bron alley-oop tight chemistry going. Donovan Mitchell was just cold. The Cavs barely even played their guys in the fourth quarter. But somehow, what stood out most to me in that game was this one moment. Two players who happened to be remarkably similar. And it's not just their play styles.
Every action on the other end. And they got every shot they wanted on the other end. Hey, for one, he don't talk. If he is talking, he communicating the wrong thing. He out of position. It was real bad for like 5-6 straight possessions. It was like, yeah, but you can't take him out. Right? It was that bad. Like if he didn't have the offensive game he was going, this one of them situations you'd have been like, JJ just gonna leave him out there?
It's also the narratives that surrounded their all-time peaks. I heard Rachel Nichols recently say something about Luka, and honestly, I'm just not vibing with it. As loud as it is now for Luka, I'm telling you, this man went through this exact same thing, and it might have actually been worse. Remember when JaVale McGee finally stood up to Shaq about all that Shaq on the Fool stuff, and moms got involved and it got a little messy? Well, JaVale McGee wasn't the only player getting consistently slammed for his game. Because before James Harden ever won this MVP, he first won this one.
Is he the top contender for MVP right now? No, he is not. Is the reason because you do have to play both sides of the ball for all 8 months of the season? Yes, it is. I mean, he has definitely been improving. I am the loudest voice that Luka is not the defensive liability that people think he is once he gets to the playoffs. He does not play that way in January. I'm sorry. And it is a, full season award, and it is for both sides of the ball.
And I love Luka. He's great for our game. The leading vote getter in the early results right now, right? But you've got to be better defensively.
Despite being the offensive engine and bringing everything to his team, this man was relentlessly criticized for looking inactive, unaware, and flat-out disinterested on defense. And honestly, it was valid. The reason I say his situation might have been worse than Luka's. In 2016, James Harden averaged these numbers and didn't even make an All-NBA team. Why? He had a fallout with Hall of Famer Kevin McHale. His situation with Dwight looked terrible, and that cast him in an overwhelmingly negative light. And just like Luka, he got hammered for his conditioning and his defensive effort. Harden couldn't win MVP in 2017 despite his team winning at a ridiculous rate, even without the best talent in the West. The reason? We had to pause the historic criteria because Russell Westbrook was having this historic season. All right, 2 years later.
Shaq in a Fool, most valuable player. Who could it be?
Oh! The bearded one! James Harden did. Perfectly fine season to not, perfectly fine reason to not play defense. You can still play defense. Look.
James Harden puts together his own all-time historic season. His team won more games. They were a 4th seed without Kabbalah and Chris Paul for significant stretches of the year. He was even better that season than the year he actually won MVP. and he still didn't win.
What's the media? They create a narrative about somebody from the beginning of the year. I think they just take that narrative and then run with it the entire year. Like, you know, I don't even want to get into the details, but all I can do is control what I can do, and I went out there and did what I was supposed to do at a high level. You know what I'm saying? A season probably, it's only a few other seasons that anybody's ever done that before.
Now I say all of this because Luka feels like he's dealing with eerily similar problems. Weight jokes, same thing. Ball hog, heliocentric, can't win with that style jokes, same thing. All-time seasons that somehow result in absolutely nothing, same thing. But his disrespect, I'll be honest, feels a bit worse. Now before I go further, as great as Luka's been, he's not my MVP this year. I think Shai is having another all-time guard season, especially given the injury context around him, how ridiculously consistent and efficient he's been at that position, and just the weight of his biggest moments. But I'm making this video because something just doesn't sit right with me. I get it. Luka's March has been fantastic, but it hasn't only been March. These are the leading scorers by month. I believe he has around 4 of the 6 so far, so this isn't new. Luka this year has been on an absolute tear, and I read that if, or when, he doesn't win MVP, he'll become the first player to lead the league in scoring twice, lead 2 50-win teams, and not win a single MVP. I had Shai winning in 2024, so I get it. But that's just insane misfortune. Now let's address the defensive thing. I understand he's not a lockdown defender. Tony Allen, we get it. And critiques about him not even participating as a team defender, especially in big playoff moments, are completely valid. I've said it myself. But can we pump the brakes slightly? Especially in MVP conversations. No disrespect to Jokic when I say this, I still have him slightly ahead as the best player on the planet, and he's better than Luka to me. But when Jokic won his MVPs, many of them came before championships, so narratives absolutely could have been shaped. Here's how often teams scored per 100 possessions with him on the floor. Nobody cared because of how brilliant he was offensively. That argument is completely valid. But this year with Luka, people act like he's so catastrophically bad defensively that you simply cannot vote for him. According to the actual numbers, though, he hasn't been that dramatically terrible, especially compared to the player who's dominated MVP voting throughout the 2020s. And just like Jokic compensates offensively, Luka does something very similar in his own way. These are the players leading the league in total points generated this season. Luka is first.
I'm not a fan of in terms of winning championships. I don't think that style is ever going to win championships. But at the same time, you have to keep your team's head above water to win games. So you have to do what you have to do to win games, and he's doing it.
I get it. A lot of people genuinely dislike Luka's style. He leads the league in field goal attempts, usage rate, and the man is simply a volume player who runs everything. If you want to argue that style can't win a championship, fine, and honestly I'm partially with you. But as far as MVP value and what he means to this team this season, that argument just doesn't hold up. Luka shoots and scores a ton, we all know this. But in games where he doesn't reach 30 points, this team is barely above 500. Now look at where he ranks when he actually scores, 30 right behind my MVP Shai. When he drops 40, they win. And the biggest separation we all know between Luka and Harden, and I mean Harden, my bad.
Dončić maneuvers for the lead. Got it! What a shot! 27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. 3 lead. Oh no! They're shredding him.
Luka holds the second highest points per game average in playoff history, only behind Jordan. So despite all their similarities, that's where they're significantly different. This man is going to finish with 2 of the top 7 individual scoring seasons in roughly the last 46 years, and potentially not one MVP to show for it. That is genuinely insane misfortune, and I won't apologize for saying it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button right now and subscribe to my channel so you never miss these breakdowns. Drop your MVP order in the comments. Mine goes Shai, Wemby, Luka, Jokic. Follow my social media, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.